favorite opera? P.S. No Mozart? I have a real answer to that. I'm not like a huge opera freak. I have to say I'm one of those people who just doesn't totally get it. I've been to a bunch of operas and it's interesting, but with the people who are like, that opera, I'm just like, I don't even understand what they're saying. But if you're counting modern opera,
yes.
Einstein on the Beach by Philip Glass, who's the man. It's not party music, but it's like, it's really good go crazy in your room music. I once, I got into that in college, and I bought the vinyl. Or no, I got it on a CD, and I put that first song where they're just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's awesome. It's this just like incredibly great repetitive music, and I drove everyone I was living with crazy because I would just leave it on repeat and crank it and leave. I would listen to it too, but okay, I'll do another one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is just a phone number. That's a question. If that's a question, the answer is maybe. I'm gonna have to have these screened. Will you please? I had these screened when I was in Edinburgh last summer. I had Max, my awesome friend Max. He screened them for me, and then if he thought they were all uninteresting, he would just rewrite a bunch of new ones. He's like, "Man, the questions tonight were awfully boring. Will you please tell your friends Evelyn and Evelyn that LA and San Francisco would love to see them live?" They'll be so happy to hear that. Speaking of, no, I'll answer the question. So speaking of Jason Webley, who I guess some of you know.
Yeah.
So we met this pair of conjoined twins, you may know. I mean, we produced a record of theirs last year, and now we just have to figure out when to put it out. But our fantasy is that when we put out the Evelyn record, we'll go on a big family tour, and Jason Webley and me and the Evelyn sisters will all tour together. They'll open up for us, and we'll do a little bill. But if we're on a tour bus, we don't know where they're going to sleep because the bunks they're narrow, and they have to sleep side by side because they're conjoined. So we might have to get a star bus and put them in the back, or put them in, with the luggage. Tie them to the top.
Where are they?
Or they'll just have to do the whole thing sitting up, awake. But yeah, maybe next year. That would be great. Okay, so,
Back to normal?
this one's still crackly. It's not terrible. You guys can't even hear it, right? You can't hear it crackly? I can live for that. You're special. Okay, so now I'm getting very long-winded. So my excuse for not practicing last week is that I'm also, to come out with my record, I'm also working on a book. And the book is, the book is a book of really amazing photography and text by Neil Gaiman. And we got this idea like months and months ago, and Jason Webley actually introduced us because Neil Gaiman had seen some video of Jason's and gotten in touch with him, and then he got in touch with me. And he talked about, while we were writing the project sort of via email, that he would come to Boston. And I was like, no. And he came, and he was supposed to only come for 2 days, but it was one of those things where now that it's the future and we have the internet and cell phones, do you notice that people don't actually really make real plans until like the day before?
Yeah.
Like, they'll be like, yes, like, we'll get together on Friday, and then you just won't say anything. And then, like, Thursday night will come, and then, like, so, you'll sort of expect that cellular technology will just bring you together the day that you've got plans. So that's sort of what happened, and I had it sort of sketched into my calendar that Neil was going to come, like, Wednesday and Thursday. I thought he was only going to be able to take 2 days out of his schedule, because he's this, like, famous, busy man. And he called me, like, 2 days before he was due to arrive, and he was like, oh, I can come for 5 days, and we'll just work on the book the whole time. And I was like, okay, awesome. I just want practice for my tour.
Who's that girl on the slip?
Who's the girl on the slip? Where? Oh, did you post one of those pictures?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I can talk about that. It's personal information. But she's hot. I will say that. She was a friend. So anyway, I don't want to make this story too long. This is the good thing about having Brian. By now, Brian would be like, "Shut up and play, bitch!" I could basically, like, if you didn't start getting angry, I would probably just talk all night. No, don't encourage me, because you guys would be psyched. There are people in the back who would start leaving. So anyway, Neil and I were hanging out, and we were talking about music. He's a huge music fan, and was like playing the oldest music, and he mentioned that he had written a set of lyrics. Because I started saying, oh, it would be so great if you could write some lyrics and I could write some music. And he's like, oh, well, here, just take these. And so I'm going to, and I put the music to it the next day, which was the day before I left for a tour, which was yesterday. So this is a 4-day-old song, and you are now going to hear its debut. Music by Van Palmer. It requires a little bit of an introduction. This is actually about the song, so now you people who are about to leave, we're getting back to the rock concert. We found out that we had this shared love of sort of croony. I've been obsessed with Frank Sinatra lately, and he was like, Frank Sinatra amazing. And we were talking about how weird it is, and how kind of anachronistic all these songs about like people hanging out in bars, smoky bars at 3 and 4 in the morning is. Like, sort of people do that now, but it seems like it's kind of like a dated 40s and 50s thing, and, people like love like vast quantities of lonely, lost people smoking in bars. I mean, first of all, no one's smoking in any bars, so that's not happening. But it's like they've migrated to a different place. And this is a song about that. You also have to imagine that I'm Ella Fitzgerald and not Martha Graham. Google you late at night when I don't know what to do. I find photos you've forgotten you were in, put up by your